I'm Claire from Created the Ottaway. I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up in the UK. Thank you for joining me. I've been a demonstrator for a number of years now, but only recently just started doing YouTube. So I welcome any comments that you have. Just love to hear from fellow crafters, so please do get in touch. Today's craft along is a book binding card, or I think that's what it's called. I've had a little look around to see what everyone has called this, and I decided to settle on that, book binding card. And the reason is because it looks very much like a book. And this design has been around for quite a while, but I've just freshened it up with new stuff from the annual catalogue. Don't you just love that different designer series paper can just make an old design that you love just nice and refreshed? This paper is from the Handmade series. It's so pretty. It's such a shame because both sides of the paper are gorgeous, but this is a really nice, delicate floral image. And rather than doing lots of stamping, I thought let's show off the paper. And then on the inside, I've just sort of layered it inside with, again, a little bit of the paper just to add a bit of detail. But you could equally stamp inside as well. And finished it off with a little bit of the in colour ribbon. So the colour that I'm doing today is Pale Papaya. And we're going to use a few other things. So if I show you what they are, if you've got a copy of the new catalogue, I'll give you the sizes for the front panel, but I'm actually going to use one of the Stitch So Sweetly dies. You can see I've already marked it yellow because I've got that set and quite a few others, just so I know where I am in the catalogue and I don't repeat order by mistake. I have done that before. I expect you all have as well. The hand-penned designer series paper is absolutely beautiful. The stamp set is equally beautiful, but if you're not so happy about your stamping and your colouring, just go for the designer series paper. You can't fail. Look at it. It's absolutely gorgeous. So that's what we're going to use as well. So while I gather my bits, I will just put the card back for you to see and the sizes that we're going to need. Hopefully you can see those. So we may or may not be joined by two little kittens. I'm trying really hard not to be that cat lady cats are always on screen, but as soon as they hear that I'm making a video, they invariably come through. So if they join us, I'll do my best to distract them. So this is the sizes. Hopefully you've got those now. I'm going to put this card to one side, and we're going to start with our base card, which is in Pale Papaya. Not really into oranges, but this is lovely. At first I was like, right, get it out, play with it, and now I'm like, oh, I think I'll choose this one first. So we're going to use some of that. I've literally just cut a piece of A4 in half there. We're also going to use some of this in colour DSP, which is really handy being 6x6. So we're going to use a little tiny sliver of that. I think I'm going to go with that pattern again because that's really nice and it matches. The DSP that we're going to use is some of this colour because it's got the Pale Papaya in it. If you're new to Stampin' Up, you cannot beat their coordination. It just absolutely matches. And then the ribbon we're going to use is this one, which is the Soft Succulent. Okay, and that's an open weave ribbon. It's got sort of like a shine on it. I don't know if you can see that. And then I've already die cut two of these shapes, which is the largest die from that. I've got two of those ready. An extra bit of thin card for the front for the sentiment, and I think that's it. That's all we need. So let's get crafting. So you can pause the video at that point and go and gather all your stuff. Oh, you need the soft succulent ink as well. I don't think I mentioned that. So take your A4 sheet, and then what you do is score it on the short side at 4 1/8, which gives you that long thin strip, or half, it's not really thin, strip of card. And then on the long side you want to make sure that it's 11 1/2, which is usually the size of the A4. Sometimes it's a little bit smaller. I'm just gonna trim that. So that is about right. On the long side, you need to do 2 score lines. So we're going to score at 4 7/8. Really simple card this. You can do it while you're chatting to your friends. Just gather some friends together and craft. It's the best thing in the world. So 4 7/8, and we're just going to score. Okay, make sure that cutting blade is well out of the way. And then 5 7/8. So it's just 2 score lines. Okay. So just like that. Just bring that out of the way. Okay. So that gives you that card with the front opening panel. Okay. Ta-da! That's it basically. We're just going to layer it up now. So the first bit I'm going to do is this side panel here, which I'm going to do in this 6x6 paper, but I just need a sliver of it. And this is a 1 inch edge, so we just need 1/8 of an inch smaller. So that makes it 7/8 of an inch. Oh, this time we do need the cutting blade. And the card, remember, was 4 1/8, so we do this piece at 4. Okay, and I'm going to stick that straight on because I have a tendency to lose it. So that's just going to stick straight on there with some good old Tombow glue. Just so you get some wiggle room. It's going to stick to me rather than the table, so that's just going to go on there. And then we're going to do the 2 panels for the front and the inside. So one is for the front, one is for the inside. And like I said, I wanted to really show off the designer series paper. Just layering it on the top just really gives it a lift. So this panel for the front piece is 2 5/8 by 3 3/4. Now, if you haven't got one of these dies to cut out, the size of this is 3 by 4 1/8. So this is 3 by 4 1/8, and then you're going to cut a piece of paper to go inside that panel. Now you could just do your own rectangle of white, but I've got these dies and I really have got a favourite thing going on with these stitching, as I suspect most of us have, because the Stampin' Up keep bringing out more and more. So this panel of DSP that goes on needs to be 2 5/8 by 3 3/4. Is that right? Yeah, 2 5. So I'm going to do 3 3/4 first, because that will give me the front piece, and I'm going to turn it to 2 5/8. 2 4 5/8. 2 5/8 by 3 3/4. Now, if I've got my measurements right, that should sit inside but still show the stitching. Ta-da! Can you see that? Lovely. So again, I'm just going to stick that with a bit of Tombow. This paper luckily is an anyway up paper, which means it doesn't matter which way round you stick it, it always looks like it's the right way up. So that's going to go in there, just doing it by eye, making sure I can see the stitching on all 4 sides. And then I know it's right in the middle. Okay, so whichever way you put it, it still looks okay. So that's going to be my front panel. Now I'm going to put this on dimensional so that it hires it and gives it a bit of depth on my card. So I don't need too many dimensionals because there's no weight on it. I'm probably going to put 1 in each corner and 1 in the middle. Perfect. And also I'm a bit stingy with my dimensionals. Are you somebody that puts loads on, or are you stingy? I'm not stingy, I just like to hoard them. Okay, it's the hexagon on the back. It's the hexagon shape of them I really love. Okay, so that's my front. Just gives it a bit of depth and a bit of shadow behind. Now the inside piece is exactly the same. You can still open the whole thing up. I haven't stuck it yet. But I'm going to put a little panel of the DSP on the side there. So if I bring back, where do I put it? So I'm going to put a little piece in there. So it was 2 5/8, wasn't it? I'm going to do it by, I think, 1/2 inch. Maybe not even that. Let's try 1/2 inch and see what that looks like. So 1/2 inch, and it needs to be 2 5/8. 2 5/8. So look, so it's quite a tiny little sliver. But that is going to go on the inside, just again inside that stitching. Lovely. Just going to stick that down. You could do it in a contrast on the other side if you want, but I'm going to keep it looking the same as the front. So there is that. Again, it doesn't matter which way around your DSP is with this. Oh, and the wiggle room made me move it. Did you see that? There you go, it's stuck. Now, did I stamp on my one on here? I think I did. Let's have a look. Oh yes, I used the pansy set. Do you love the pansy set? Okay, I really love the pansy set, but I really like the sentiments that are in it particularly. You can see what I've done here. So when I'm about to stamp, I pull them out from the inside like that and stick them on the front, and then I don't lose them. So the inside bit has got this one that says, "The little things you do make such a big difference." I think it's really important to thank people and let them know that they've made a difference to you. Life is hard at the minute, so we need to share some love. Okay, and I really like the delicateness of the font. Isn't that lovely? Really lovely. So that's the inside of my card done. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that straight in. And to help me with the positioning, I'm going to hold that bit down and just open that. Remember, I haven't stuck the binding edge down because I want to put the ribbon on. Okay, so I'm happy with that. That looks really pretty actually. Look at that. Okay, now the sentiment for the front, I've got a sliver of card as a scrap here. That was just lying on my desk. I've got the very long sentiment that says "a little hello from me to you." And I'm going to ink that up with soft succulent. And I'm going to try and aim for it in the middle. Okay. Oh, not too bad. Now, did I bring scissors through? That's the thing. I knew there would be something. Let me go get the scissors. there you go. So this edge I'm going to do straight, just straight like that. Move those out of the way. And I'm going to put it at the edge of the DSP like that. Now I could do it straight across, but actually I want a little bit of a shape on this end. Now you can do this with a punch, or you can do it with anything, or you could just do it with your scissors. There you go. Oh, tickle. And again, I'm gonna just put this on with some Tombow glue because I don't want it to stick out too much. And that's gonna go on like so. Okay, what's left? I think we just need some ribbon. So the ribbon, I put this in before I stick. So I just roughly, because I'm just going to tie a knot, just cut it off a bit there. And then you can put some Tombow glue or some double-sided, oh dear, on this 1 inch. Okay, doesn't matter which you put. Lay your ribbon across, sort of midway. I am just going to make sure that that sticks in place. Just hold it for a moment, like so. Okay, and then just tie it in a knot. So that just goes like that. Oh, I've got stickiness on my finger. That goes, oh look, there it is again. Must have come off of the dimensionals. So there's that bit. Tie it fairly tight, and then you'll be able to pull it tight when it all comes together. Like so. And then if you need to, just trim it. I don't think I really need to. Maybe a little bit. Let's trim it a bit. Always wary about trimming it and trimming it too much. Okay. And a little bit off here. Oh, finger slipped. Okay. And that is our bookbinding easy card. Isn't that pretty? Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to crafting with you again soon.